Hello. Okay, on this video I'm going to talk about bans, why you're getting banned, or what could get you banned. Okay, I messaged the some developer, and he responded with some of the reasons why people have gotten banned and why people have gotten banned wrongfully as well. I'm going to go through that later. I'm going to talk about reasons for why you could have been wrongfully banned if you were wrongfully banned. I have a list right here of generic reasons and non-generic reasons of why you would be banned by a anti-cheat auto AI ban application. So Strinova, for example, uses this one, the ACE, right? Made by Tencent, right? Tencent. They use this one, right? Here's some of the reasons you might get banned. So maybe it's things to think about, I guess. I'm gonna go through these 10 step ones that I noted, but I'm gonna focus. Keep this in mind. I'm gonna focus on wrongfully getting banned. Okay, I'm not going to talk about why you could get banned as much for obvious reasons, right? If you're trying to do some, like if you're trying to do bad stuff in the game, you don't need to ask why you're getting banned, right? If you're purposely trying to do something, non-gentlemanly, then that's not what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about focusing on talking about stuff why you could be banned when you really didn't mean to get banned. Okay, here we have the first one. Cheating software, using third-party programs designed to give unfair advantages such as aimbot, wall hack, and other hacks. So again, if you're using wall hacks and aimbots and hacks, obviously, if you get banned, rippo, so you know why you got banned. But reasons that you could get banned for this reason, even though you're not doing it, is if you do have third-party application that you don't think would be considered quote-unquote cheating, but the actual anti-cheat could register it as a cheat. So for example, using macros, I'm not saying that this is the case. I'm just like throwing it out there. I'm just clarifying. Some software that might be like third-party mouse-assisted software, like mouse smoothing acceleration software that might not be verified, or might be like sketchy third-party ones, or some certain types of macros could also be aligned with this as well. Okay, so we'll put that down here. I shouldn't really need to write this down, but third party software that isn't intended for cheating. Okay, we got the game modification. Any unauthorized modification to the game files or using mods that alter game play mechanics can trigger a ban. So I don't know how much this would be relevant in this game. But for example, in some games, you could, I remember playing CSGO Source, you could like go into the game files, maybe you want to do this in the game files, like specifically not in the settings, but you go into the actual like Steam game file and you alter like some information, right? Let's say the game doesn't have your language, but you're able to kind of interject a auto translator into the files, which is possible. You could do that. Stuff like that could get you banned. Okay, I'm not saying that anyone is doing that. That's kind of like far-fetched. But I'm just saying, like, just simply going into the game files and just altering a small little folder could be enough to get you banned, even though it's not done maliciously. For whatever reason. For example, let's say like the Steam file typically has a saved text script that can just simply saves your information. This is mostly relevant for like offline games. This is all stored in the cloud. But for example, if you were to like, save or copy that one, that could be a reason. Okay, I don't even know what I write here. Touching. Okay, don't be touching the game files for whatever reason, right? Maybe even renaming a file, for example, right? Maybe you have the original Steam file and you're like, I don't like the fact that it's called Strinova. I want it to be called, it's Strinova or something like that. Match fixing, engaging in activities like throwing games or colliding with other players to manipulate match outcomes. This one is very easy to do without necessarily a malicious intent, right? I wrote this down here as well, but like engaging in activities to throw the game. I mean, obviously, some people have, you know, bad games. Sometimes they have bad games. Sometimes they have good games. So you might have games where you're not maliciously being hardcore toxic and throwing games, but you might. Okay, I wrote this down right here. Being bad could get you banned. Okay, you might have like a really horrible day where you'll unironically you could set yourself up to get banned because you're so bad. How do I explain this in like a good way? So the way a lot of these anti-cheat software uses, and I'm not saying you're actually going to get banned just because you're bad, right? So don't worry if you're bad. But if anybody has played League, right, there's a lot of like memes about running it down mid, right? A lot of the ways you could detect that is you have like a set timer. You have like a set timer and it's in the background and it's timing when people respawn and when they die, right? And when someone is running it down mid, it's very easy for the bot to calculate like, oh, this is very suspicious. You know, here's the spawn area and here's the lanes. It's very suspicious that this player, every time they spawn in, you know, they just run in a fairly straight line and then they die after like 12 seconds, right? Very suspicious, right? Stuff like that. That could get you banned. Now, is this going to happen if you're bad at Strinova? Most definitely. Most probably not. But I'm just saying, hypothetically, if you are really bad, or if you're having a bad gameplay day, or if you're having issues with your internet or something, if you... Or maybe you gave the controller to your little, you know, 7-year-old nephew or something, right? And he keeps on consistently dying, like from the beginning of the match until the death point. And it's like consistently like a speed run to death. Yeah, that could get you banned because it could get you like, you know, auto detected by the ban bot. I'll explain why this is actually a good thing later on. I don't know what to type here, like being bad, getting auto tagged for dying X seconds from spawn. Okay. Q sniping, intentionally joining the same game as a specific player to target or harass. Now, this is actually just a... keep in mind, in most games, stream sniping is actually against the TOS, no matter what, okay? You know, whatever, say that as you will. You might have a favorite streamer and you're like, oh, yes, I'm going to get in the lobby. But I'm just saying, it's not illegal. You're not going to get in jail. But it is the TOS in basically every single game. And that's because, you know, it just creates like a bad environment, I guess. You know what I mean? So this part doesn't really matter, okay? The target and harass doesn't really matter because technically stream sniping is against the TOS. Do I care? Not really, but I'm just saying, okay? So you could potentially
Take a moment to think about
get banned if you do get registered. Registered to join the same person over and over again. Again, like I am being like I'm bringing in too much detail here. So if you do think some of these points are stupid, it's because they are. I'm just being like over clarification, like if they seem stupid like this one, it is stupid. I'm just like some of these I'm just, you know, clarifying that it's a possibility. I'm not saying that it's gonna happen. Okay, sharing your account with others, especially if they engage in cheating or disruptive behavior. This goes with the point of 6, using multiple accounts, creating multiple accounts to evade penalties from previous infractions. Okay, so this goes together basically. So that's basically ban evading, okay? If you get banned and then you ban evade. Now, I want to say this, to add to this, since they are using their cheat engine, Tencent's, you could remember these TOSs work together with the same company. So if this company works with other companies and they have other games, if you've gotten banned on one game, it is very possible that they might have flagged your Steam account and, you know, they'll ban you straight up. You might not have broken any laws, any rules on Strinova, but they might actually ban you because you've gotten banned on other games that they've made or that they've collaborated with other companies. And they'll just ban you because of that, right? I remember that was like a common thing when you played like CS Source, you could get banned from CS Source, but you would get like Vax banned or whatever, and you would get banned from every single game Source made. That's an example. Okay, moving on. Oh yeah, ban invading and having your account flagged. Okay. By the way, as I said before, I'm focusing on the reason why some of these might seem a little, silly is because I'm focusing on unjust bans or getting banned, and I'm bringing them point by point, being banned when you're not directly intentionally, trying to get banned. Okay. So if you're just curious on, why people could get banned, then all you have to do is read this list, right? Then you don't have to care about what I say after that. But if you're actually wondering why you could somehow unintentionally get banned and stuff you might want to, be careful about, then, some of these are very valid, okay? And very important. And also some of these you might say, well, this sounds really stupid. How could a anti-cheat work like this? I'll get to the point of why there's pros and cons to having a either sensitive anti-cheat or anti-autoban bot system, or why there's a negative one to having a too stringent or too strict. Exploiting bugs, taking advantage of glitches or bugs in the game to gain unfair advantages. This could be, for example, I'll give you an example. Let's say your friend is in the other team, right? And you're farming. You're like, what's the big deal, man, right? He's my friend, and you're farming. You're sitting on the other side of the map. You're purposely like farming headshots or whatever achievement you might be looking for. Boom, right? Against the TOS. That one might be an obvious one. But also, I'll give you a less obvious one. Sometimes it's important to understand, sometimes just because you can't do something in a game doesn't mean that, it's not my fault that the developer didn't fix this. Yeah, it's like a small little exploit, but I can't get banned for it. That's their fault. I mean, whatever. You can say that, and I'd probably agree with you. I agree with you. But reality is, if you do exploit the exploits, you'll get banned, right? So an example of this is, I just missed one. I'll jump. An example of this is AFK bot farming. So I just checked, and this is not the case anymore, but I believed before you could go into bot lobbies and actually farm XP and achievements and event achievements in the bot lobbies. Not anymore from what I tested. What the hell did I say, man? Unfair farming. Just because you can just doesn't mean it won't get you banned. Like, I remember, I forgot exactly what it was. It was, I don't know, I think it was Smite or something I played, and it was like, I forgot exactly what it was, but it was like something. If you extended a game mode some certain way, it would give you like 3 times XP. People were doing it, and everyone got nuked. Okay, fraudulent activities are acquiring in-game currency or items through hacks or scams, such as using stolen credit cards. I don't really have much to note on this when it comes to accidentally getting banned for this. this is kind of, you know, it goes without saying. Of course, I don't know exactly how I'm gonna pivot this to, you know, accidentally getting banned for this. Acquiring in-game currencies or items through hacks. I mean, I don't know. Skip. That might be, you know, if someone sends you currency in the game, but I'm gonna skip that one because it's like not relevant to anything. Harassing and harassment and toxic behavior, engaging in harassment, hate speech, or other toxic behaviors can lead to bans, especially in games with strict community guidelines. Like Strinova has quite strict community guidelines. So an example of this is getting banned for this unintentionally, out of context, spams for communications. Okay, I'm looking at you, mother suckers. All you people spamming, I'm a femboy in chat. I'm sick of tired of it. Okay, since day one, all I see in chat is I'm a femboy, I'm a femboy, I'm a femboy, I'm a femboy, I'm a femboy. Okay, maybe they've fixed that, but I'm just saying, you do that and you're probably getting banned. Okay, you might not be getting banned now, but eventually you'll get banned. Okay, I'm not saying that you'll get banned because you're a femboy, but I'm saying you'll get banned because you're spamming. Okay, and you're also spamming, you know, out of context, random stuff for no reason. Okay, you can spam that all you want if you private message someone, but if you're doing it in like the open chat where people don't want to hear that you're a femboy 1,000 times over, then, you know, that could get you banned, right? And you might, you get the point. Okay, I'm not gonna out of context communication. If you're in a lobby and you're with friends and you have like inside jokes and whatever, you type it in chat, you're like, haha, like that's so funny, and it's even wholesome. Maybe you type it and you're like, it's wholesome, but out of context it could look really bad and you might get flagged and banned, is all I'm saying. Especially by spamming can get you banned. Okay, hardware modifications I'm gonna bring up a picture soon or towards the end, and I'm gonna show you the little ban circle and why this ties into it and why people could be wrongfully banned and acquitted. Okay, number 10, hardware modifications in rare cases using hardware that modifies the game performance or behavior can also lead to bans. Now this is a very big one. Okay, unintentionally getting banned for having a bad PC or internet. This is an unintentional one which could happen to you. Okay, if your PC is really slow and you're not just straight up getting booted off the game, or your internet is really bad, it is very possible that it might wrongfully register you as trying to do something malicious. Like, for example, I remember during the COD lobbies back in the days, people used to like what is called network switch, when they used to like have like a buddy in the router or something, but that was like dedicated servers, not the same thing. I'm just saying. Okay, same thing goes for this. Okay, same thing goes for having like some software in the background. Okay, moving on. Miscellaneous. Okay, oops. Miscellaneous. Being bad, already talked about this when it came to the, you know, being flagged for being bad. Okay, because it's like a very... Remember, the auto ban system is very much ones and zeros. Okay, it's like 99.9% robotics, like auto ban system. So they just go by numbers, and if it looks suspicious, depending on the limit of ban, how strict or stringent it is, you can easily get banned for being bad. But you probably won't. Again, it's probably a fairly advanced algorithmic thing. Internet issue, we already talked about that. Out of context communication, already talked about that. Having fun could get you banned, right? Yes, it could. How could having fun get you banned? Well, it goes with the point of match fixing. Okay, since it is a robotic automated AI system getting you banned, you could get banned for having fun, right? imagine you're playing a game and you know that you're losing or the enemy is going to lose. You're like, fuck it, I'm going to go out, in full glory. I see the enemy. I'm going to bust out some Fortnite dance moves, right? We're going to have a little party here. If you do that enough times, you could get flagged, right? The game registers you as being near an enemy enough time for a long period of time without you shooting each other. Boom, could get banned, right? Same thing with feeding, right? Maybe you're playing against another team and you have a full squad of friends and you're like, we don't care about this match, right? Maybe you're a 5-man squad and you're all in on feeding because you don't care, right? That's fine. I think that's fine, personally speaking. If you're like a full squad and you're five people and you want to throw the game, I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that, right? If you're a 5-man squad, you're not ruining the game for anyone, right? You're giving the enemy a win, so I think that's fine. But you could still get flagged, right? Okay, that's about it. Okay, now let's talk about ban tolerance. The pros and cons of having it high or too low. Not see here. I already practiced this one actually, but we'll see how it goes here. Make a new one. Okay, so the way these systems work with the...
I made a bunch of origami stars.
The way these systems work is the Autobot system has a tolerance. Okay, so you can imagine that the scale looks like this. You can imagine that it looks like this. And let's say that basic normal human behavior is typically has a baseline of, let's say this, right? And the Autobot system bans people for being over this. It registers people that are above this as a bot. Well, I use bots anonymously with just a malicious player that should be banned, right? So it registers, it's a red flag right here. If any player crosses this little line right here, boom, insta-nuked, right? But the problem is, since we're humans, right? Normal human behavior will deviate a little bit from how we play and how we socialize, etc. And stuff might be flagged when it really shouldn't be. So this would be like the accumulation of an average player. So you would go whatever, yeah. You would be like the average player, or for example, you would be like this. Oh, sorry. Let me just make this easier. Boom. And you would play like this. You would communicate like that. You'd do this. But then, boom, you might spike here. Boom, you might spike here, right? And not because of malicious reasons, right? You might spike here because maybe you got flagged by the ban bot for having like too many lag spikes, for saying stuff out of context, for playing horribly bad because your 12-year-old niece took over the PC or something. Yeah, or stuff like that, for example, right? So you could be flagged. Now, this is very important when it comes to having... Now, I don't know this personally. I don't know how strict the ban bot is, but I've gotten multiple people sending in that they've gotten auto banned for no reason. Okay, and obviously, if you really feel that way, and if these are some of the points, that could be why you got banned, you send in an appeal is what you should do. That's what the mod said as well. Of course, makes sense. Now, here's an example of how these bot systems might work. They might operate under a super strict guideline, and they're so confident, right? Either the people programming the bot or the bot itself is like set to a certain interval number, and they're like, there's no way a normal human could exceed this line unless they're maliciously trying to get banned or they're a bot, right? So, for example, it could be the case that it's so strict that if you cross this line, boom, you get insta-nuked. You get one-tapped, banned, right? I think that's a horrible system. That's a horrible system. I'm not saying that that's the system they're using. I don't think that's the system they're using, definitely not. But it could be. But it's not. Okay. I think the way games should do this is they should have a strike system. Okay, so they should have like a point system. It should be like a, here we cross the line twice, right? It should be less so a strict system, and it should be like a guideline system, right? Should be like a good measurement. So if you exceed this line, boom, you get tagged. So right here, boom, you get tagged, boom, you get tagged, you get 2 points on your record. And let's say, for example, I would say you get 2 points, 2 strikes. And if you exceed, let's say 5 strikes, then you can get banned, or then you get a timeout, or then you get a week ban or whatever. So let's say you exceed like 5 strikes a week or something, and you get fight 5 times a week, then you get banned. So you do, you know, here's only 2 strikes, and then boom, 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 and then you're out, and then you get banned. That's a good system, I think. The reason for why this is a good system is typically if you are a bot or you are a malicious player, the amount of red flags, as long as you have a semi-intelligent automated bot system scanning the behaviors, the amount of red flags you'll hit daily is probably going to be close to 50. Like the amount of spamming, the amount of feeding, the amount of toxicity you do as either a hardcore malicious player that should be banned, or a bot, a robot, AI bot or farmer or whatever, is probably going to be like so many strikes per day that this 5-strike system is going to be a fair good system to use. Whereas if you're like a malicious bot or a malicious player, your player behavior will probably be like this. You know, it will be like that, teetering on the line. And obviously this line here is arbitrary, and the developers have a better idea than I do, of course, on what arbitrary line they've set this line right here, right? You can imagine that this is like a toxicity level right here, and this is like 100% toxic, and this is like, you know, this is like
But before that, let's take a moment
like
to think
0%
about all
toxic
the
or like
wishes we can
5%
make.
toxic. No one is flawless, okay? We're all a little toxic inside, okay? Don't pretend, okay? I don't think you should get banned for being straight up toxic, okay? I think it is a what would you call it? It's a consistency. Oh my god. It's a consistency. Oh my god. It's a consistency thing, right? Being a little toxic here and there because you had a few bad matches, I think that's fine, right? As long as you know your limits, everyone has the right to, you know, be a little salty here and there, right? You shouldn't be, you know, insta banned just because you say like shit or fuck in the chat or stuff like that. Now, if you start harassing people and you're actively toxic, you know, okay. I had a very good thing I was gonna bring up, but I completely forgot about it. I'm gonna sit here and think. I'll be back.
Mic off. Mic on.
Yeah, I don't know actually. I don't know what I was thinking about, but that's fine. Okay, so yeah, I never actually specified the pros and cons of having it be strict and versus not strict. So here's the example, okay? So right now I give you an example of a pretty strict system in the beginning. So the pros and cons is if you have it too strict, right? If you have it too strict, meaning it's too easy to get banned without many warnings or without a human supervising the actual ban, for example, then you'll get a bunch of unfair people, unfair bans. You'll get a bunch of people just getting banned for reasons they shouldn't be. That's what happens when you have it too strict, right? So a lot of people complain. They're like, "Oh, this game has too many cheaters. Just fucking up the anti-cheat. Just like make it more strict. Just insta-ban people for doing this, and that." But the problem is they can't have no game that has a good amount of players. They cannot have humans just banning. It's impossible. Especially it's a free-to-play game. It's impossible to go through even 0.0.1% of people to manually ban. They have to have automated, you know, AI bots to ban. So yeah, if you have it too strict, like I showed before, then you'll have too many people, innocent civilians, getting slaughtered and banned. Also, I thought I just realized what I was thinking about before. Let me not forget about it. Oh my god, I just forgot about it. Oh my god. I just had it. No, that's so unfortunate. But yeah, if you have it too lenient or too stringent, then you'll let too many cheaters, too many, bots, too many toxic players through as well. So there's pros and cons to both of them. Oh my, I can't believe I just forgot about it. I cannot believe it. It was somewhere in the cornea of my eye. I mean, brain. I'm gonna sit there again and wait till I come up with it.
Mic off. Mic on.
I'm flabbergasted. I'm out.